evening, everyone. My name is Declan McCardle. We're live here at Teagasc Ballyhaise Agricultural College for the first of 2 demonstration evenings on lambing. We'll be live for approximately the next 20 minutes. For those of you that are watching online, if you have any questions, please do post them and I will ask them on your behalf. I'm now going to hand over to John Kelly, who is the principal here at Ballyhaise Agricultural College. Over to you, John.
Thank you, Declan, and welcome to Teagasc Ballyhaise Agricultural College. You're live here now with our students and our teachers here. I'll introduce you all in a second. My name's John Kelly. I'm the principal here in the college. And tonight we're live in our shed. We actually have a ewe. It's very exciting. Just had our first lamb and there's a twin on its way, so we'll come to that very, very shortly. We're going to talk about the skills that we teach here in the college. But before we start, maybe just a little bit about the college. It's part of 3 Teagasc Agricultural Colleges, another one in Cork, one in Kilkenny, and ourselves here in County Cavan. We started 350 students here in courses just in the last couple of months, and over 135 students here on our level 5 course, and that is the students that are here tonight. Students are studying sheep here, and every one of them that are involved in the sheep will be involved in supervising the lambing and learning about the skills that we're going to talk about here tonight. So it is very exciting. As I say, there's a ewe close to lambing, so we'll just introduce you now to Mary McGlynn, our sheep teacher. And Mary, maybe just before, we'll just talk about the ewe that's lambing and the lamb that's just been born.
In actual fact, John, just while you were speaking there, she has had her second lamb. We missed it by seconds. So you can just see him there if our camera is on it. He's just literally after being born, so it's a great success. And she has her other twin there in front of her. As John said, I'm the sheep teacher here in the college, and I have responsibility for overseeing the sheep enterprise and for delivering the sheep production module. Here in the college, we run a fully commercial mid-season and early lamb and flock. We're right now in the middle of early lambing, and in fact, our ewes won't be due. Their 147 days is not till tomorrow, but lambing actually started on Saturday. So maybe just while we're giving that ewe a chance to bond with the lamb, we might take you back to when these ewes were actually put with the ram and when they went in lamb. And at this stage, I'm going to actually ask one of our students to come on board and do a little chat with us about it.
And just introduce yourself. Where are you from?
My name's Ryan McLaughlin. I'm from Ballyhaise in County Donegal, very north. Donegal.
Thank you.
Ryan, these ewes are lambing down now. So when would they actually have been put in lamb?
Them ewes were sponged on the 4th of August with Jason.
Right, and we opted to sponge them. Why?
Because the ewes are dark day breeders.
Exactly.
They can't come in lamb that time, so we have to sponge them.
So as short day breeders, they'd not naturally go in lamb, maybe it's late September, October, so we opted to sponge them. As students here in the college, what advantage is there for yourselves for us to sponge the ewes?
It's a good advantage for us because we get the experience of lambing sheep and see what it's like.
Prior to going in your work placement in February, when our mid-seasons would be starting to lamb down. Okay, we scanned these ewes, Ryan. Maybe you'll talk us through the results of the scanning and how we got on back in October.
We got a 70% conception rate with the scanning, and if you take out the empty ewes, we got a 1.9 scanning out.
Okay, sorry about that. So we should be back online again. There's a little problem, technical problem that can happen. We're in rural Ireland, and line speed can be a challenge, but here, hopefully now, we'll keep our fingers crossed. We'll come back in if this happens again. There should be no issue. So we'll just pick up where we left off. We were just talking about the lambs,
we were talking about that ewe there that had her second lamb, and if we can have a look there at it now, she's bonding well with the lamb. That's exactly what we'd like to see in the ewe. She's encouraging the lamb to get up and suck. He's licking them there, so that's all going perfectly. That's exactly what you'd expect.
Okay.
Now, look, while the ewe is doing that, we're having a wee look around, and we've 1 or 2 other ewes that are showing signs of imminent enough lambing, so hopefully we can come back to one of those. In the meantime, let's talk about feeding these ewes. Here in the college, we place a very big emphasis on feeding the pregnant ewe. And maybe I'll ask our students here to chat to me about that and go through the process.
And just maybe you'll introduce yourself and where you're from.
Dara Green, I'm from Ballyhaise, just up the road.
Dara, the students here are on a rota morning and night for feeding the ewes, okay? Maybe you'd like to tell us when would that begin, or when do we think about feeding these ewes?
Well, basically, when the ewes are scanned, they're split into the groups, the singles, doubles and triplets. And we also check their body condition score to see if they're fresh enough and ready to sit a lamb. Ewes that maybe we aim for a body condition score of around 3, that's the target. And for ewes that aren't at the target of 3, there's several different options. We say if a ewe carrying doubles was below the body condition score, you can put her into triplets, so she's getting a wee bit of extra meal.
Yeah, so she's been fed that little bit earlier to give her that bit of an extra boost. Exactly. And Dara, you're not from a farm yourself, so...
no, I mostly spend the time with neighbours helping them with cattle and stuff, so getting the chance here with sheep is an excellent opportunity to learn. And
I know you were out with us on Sunday night, late lambing, and it was extremely cold.
Sunday night was very cold, with a few very cold lambs too, so there's a lot of work to keep them going.
So you did excellent work on Sunday night. Brilliant. Okay. And the other thing in the meal we need to be very conscious of is the different feeding levels and the protein level. Very important for the colostrum. And tomorrow night we'll be looking more at that. Katie, I see you're standing there beside the silage. Maybe take me through the importance of silage.
I'm from Castletara, Cavan. In Ballyhaise we get our silage tested. The average is 75% DMD. If the average, or if the results come back lower than 75%, we would supplement the ewes with meal. Earlier
Absolutely. And we had some excellent silage here. I think one of the samples that was sent off about 2 weeks ago came back at 85% DMD. So we're very pleased with that. And I suppose it's worth noting the variation within the silage and being conscious of what we're feeding. Okay. When the ewes are fed, obviously there's a lot of noise and a lot of agitation. So actually, have we a ewe starting to lamb maybe over there? We just might have a little look there. That Suffolk ewe that's bleating there. You see her? Yeah. She's starting to show some signs, but she's still early on, so we might come back to that. In the meantime, what I was getting
but
at
just, Mary, one thing, we might have missed it when the line broke. Just tell us about the losses that we had at the start again. Some of our viewers might have missed that.
We had discussed that, but just in case it was lost, at the start of lambing on Saturday, we did have a number of losses in about 4 or 5 ewes, and we suspected it's Schmallenberg virus.
Yes.
Now, we have sent samples, feces samples to the lab, and our vet took bloods.
Yeah.
We are awaiting results. We're suspicious, and it's worth noting that when we did the scanning for the early lambs, we probably had fewer or more empties than we would like to see.
And that's been confirmed.
And possibly that is possible again in relation to Schmallenberg.
And the only thing that's unusual for us, it's been in the country for a number of years.
And we've confirmed in local herds.
Yes, so it's further north than it has been here before.
Absolutely.
But anyway, it's just something that
we've had a milder autumn, and we think that's causing the spread. We haven't had any case since Sunday, so hopefully we're over the worst. But as these ewes have been synchronised,
that's the
possibility.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
I suppose at this stage now, we might actually look at a clip of our ewes being fed earlier in the day. After scanning, which takes place 80 days into gestation, ewes are divided into their lambing groups of triplets, doubles and singles and fed accordingly. Assuming the ewe has access to ad lib good quality silage and has a good body condition score, meal feeding commences for ewes having triplets 8 weeks prior to lambing, doubles 6 weeks and singles 4 weeks. The amount...
Okay, sorry for that, another break in our line, but we'll take up from after the video, Mary. We were just saying we couldn't have shown the sheep being fed live. Absolutely not. There would have been complete pandemonium and all the ewes would have got very noisy. In actual fact, it may be to our benefit that we went down for a while there, because we now have another ewe and quite active lambing. So we may have a little bit more lambing to show you very shortly. I suppose in the meantime we'll talk about preparation for lambing and the importance of being well prepared and everything on hand. Again, the students here in the college play a really important role in this, and that's why I'm going to speak to one of them now about it. Just introduce yourself.
Killian Faulkner, and I'm from Red Hills in County Cavan.
Killian, you're standing beside a table overloaded with stuff. Talk me through a little bit of it.
We have some of the stuff there before the lambing and after the lambing, just to have it ready. That you're better off having it ready before you start lambing, that you're not looking for it on the day that you start lambing. Absolutely. It's better to be well prepared and have it. The other thing is that the hot water sink, very useful to have. Yeah, you need hot water and water to wash things out, and hot water for if you need replacement milk for lambs and tubing and things like that. Tomorrow evening we may talk a little bit more about feeding pet lambs and mixing up milk for them. Behind us here, Killian,
you have a number of pens in the process of getting ready. Talk me through a little bit of that.
Well, first of all, you want to wash out and sweep out your pens, make sure they're nice and dry and clean. Then you put some white rhino lime on it to stop the diseases and things like that. And then you put the straw on it, make it nice and clean to stop any diseases like joint ill or E. coli scour.
Exactly. Killian, you were actually here with me on Saturday when we lambed the first ewe that had the Smallenberg virus. Yes. And I suppose that was a learning experience for the both of us.
I've never seen it before.
And I hadn't either. But it's one of these things. Yeah. And thankfully, we don't have any more since Sunday. But it was a learning experience for you here in the college. Yeah. And something that when you go on your work placement, may be of benefit to you, and how we dealt with it and send the fetuses to the lab.
It'll be a lot of benefit to me because I know what I'm looking at kind of more so than looking at something that I don't have a clue about.
Because it was totally new to the two of us at that lambing. Exactly. Well, we might go back over now and see, is there any more progress with this ewe that is in the middle of lambing there? Have we... Yeah, she's working along nicely. One of the signs there that lambing is imminent, we see there that she's actually paying a lot of attention to the other ewe's lambs. Now, that's something that we need to be mindful in that ewe may try to take up with the other ewe's lambs and then possibly reject her own. So
and that first lamb, Mary's mobile, just you can see that.
He's starting to get up there and start to root around and try and suck. So again, moving along nicely, great progress there.
Yeah.
Of course, because we're filming, we actually left the ewe with her two lambs there. Ideally, what would happen at this stage, John, is we'd move them across to this nice pen here, so they'll have their own little environment, and the ewe would be left with her two lambs, and there'd be no fear of rejection. Okay?
Okay.
At this stage, actually, it might be beneficial to show you a recording of lambing that students participated in earlier today when a ewe was actually in difficulty. So maybe we might play that now and we'll talk to the students afterwards.
This ewe is showing typical signs of lambing. We can see she's bleating, restless, and that her water bag has burst. Most ewes will lamb themselves and not require assistance. However, this ewe is showing discomfort and requires help. It's best practice to wear gloves and have lambing gel available. Having checked the ewe, I can feel that the lamb is very big and its legs need to be repositioned to allow the ewe to lamb. Here at Ballyhaise, students are given every opportunity to experience all aspects of lambing prior to going on work placement. Having safely delivered the lamb should be rubbed to promote circulation. We pinch the bridge of the lamb's nose to encourage first breaths. It's important to give the lamb to its mother as quickly as possible to prevent rejection. As this ewe is having twins, the second lamb has now to be delivered. Because this lamb has been waiting longer to be delivered, we can see by the discoloration on the lamb's coat that the lamb was in distress. We follow the same revival techniques as before. An hour later, we can now see two healthy lambs.
Now, Mary, I just noticed on that video that the gloves were everyone was wearing gloves. Explain about that.
Absolute best practice that we're gloved. And that's both for farmers' welfare and for the animal themselves. Look, sheep can transmit zoonotic diseases.
And what's zoonotic diseases?
So zoonotic is that, so it's transferable to humans, so you could have enzootic abortion, and that's why we need to be careful and mindful of that. No matter what your flock status is, there's always the possibility. And equally, from the ewe's point of view, at lambing, it's important to try and keep it sterile and clean. And by wearing gloves, you're reducing the possibility of transmitting from ewe to ewe.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Well, you saw there that we had a really successful outcome to that lambing. And I'm joined here by the three students. We already met Ryan, so maybe we'll introduce our other two students.
Thomas Mullen from Ballyhaise, County Donegal.
Kevin in from Kilmarnock, County Donegal.
Okay, Ryan, I'll start with you. Ryan, great successful delivery there, okay? Why did we have to help that ewe? Because most ewes will lamb on their own.
One leg was stuck down there, one leg was coming, so we had to pull the leg up nice and easy, get the two legs out, and the head came in like that.
Okay, so just if the lamb is coming the normal way, the lamb should be something like that. just as it comes out into the birth canal, and you're popping one leg, and the yolk will pop, and then out will come. So in your case, we had one leg right the way down, and we had the head like that. So it wouldn't have landed. So we had to just gently push this little head back a little bit, and then gently ease that leg up, and then we were ready to go. Absolutely. Thomas, I might get you to come in there. Thomas, why other reasons would we have for intervening or for helping the yo at lambing?
Well, if the lambs come in different wrong ways, it could be
So give me an example of how what's the other ways the lamb can be coming wrong.
could be coming with just the head forward.
So their head is forward and the head at this stage could be actually out. Now that's quite a tricky lambing, okay? And it's one that you had at the weekend on your own here. So talk me through how you dealt with that. So the head was right out and there was no legs at all.
Well, when the head was out for a while and it was swollen up, so it was harder to put back in. We pushed the head back in.
So you had plenty of lube around the head.
And put the head rope on.
And maybe a little rope around the back of the ears so that we didn't lose it. Yeah.
Push the head back in. And then we put up the 2 front feet. We took them up, slowly up this way to save damage in the eye. And then we took her out then.
Absolutely.
I have to hand it to live TV, Mary, now. Yeah, we're nearly there.
And the other one was when our lamb was coming backwards.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's coming backwards. And again, how would you know that lamb was coming backwards?
Well, more you see by the back of the lamb's foot, because it's different to the front foot or the joint. You find from the joint. And, well, if you have no hair, then you're coming from the back.
Absolutely. And Kevin, you delivered the second lamb there, okay? Now, talk me about that delivery.
It's fairly straightforward delivery. She was coming the right way it was meant to be coming. 2 legs out and the head was in between the legs.
But because that lamb had been waiting a good wee while, it was distressed.
Yeah,
okay?
you could tell that he was distressed.
And needed to be delivered, okay?
Yeah.
You had to do a little bit of revival on that lamb. Talk me through what you did to get the lamb breathing properly.
Well, first of all, we cleared the airways, made sure he was breathing, and rubbed the side of him. That helps him get going and it helps him light it up. And put a bit of straw on his nose. That'd read his airways and pinch his nose 2 times. That'd make him get first breath.
Brilliant. Well, look, it was an absolute great success story, lads. And I know you were on again last night, lambing, and you had another really good night here.
And Mary, just tell us about the lambs. They're twin lambs.
Yeah,
and
twin
just
lambs.
born yesterday,
Just
as you
born
said.
yesterday, and I think we weighed this guy and he was 5.5 kgs, and this guy was just 5 kgs. Excellent, excellent.
Yes, you're right. And that's a lot to do with the feeding of the
A
yolk.
lot to do with the feeding regime and the genetics of the ewe as well, and our selection for breeding.
Yes.
And the ram as well would have a factor in that.
Yes.
Tomorrow we will be talking a little bit about post-lambing and average daily gain.
Yes.
So that'll be something we will cover tomorrow.
Now we have a yo that has escaped here, so that's a lot of the noise that you can hear in the background. But maybe, Declan, we just make it the yo back again, and then
We
we
might
take a few
just take
questions.
her lambs up to her and she may follow her lambs back. So these are the 2 lambs that were born, and they've put the iodine on the navel there, and we'll get our 2 students.
She'll follow her lambs now back into the pen, so she can take better care of them. We might just have a look there before we finish up.
Well done.
Yes, so Declan, that's what we had planned for this evening. So maybe there's some questions that's there, and we can Mary can answer the questions.
Yes, John, there was a question that came in earlier from a student that visited. We were just inquiring, they noticed that none of the sheep were sheared. Is there a reason behind that?
Yeah, I'll let Mary answer that.
Oh, right. Yeah, look at shearing, yes, at lambing has many advantages, but because this is early lambing, and we'll be turning these ewes out mid-February, possibly too cold, potential that they could catch pneumonia. However, in the mid-season flock, if they're being turned out March onwards, would be ideal. Better for lambing, good for body condition scoring, yes, but not for early lambing. I don't think it's suitable.
Another question, Declan?
One more, let's say, in relation to the surface in the shed here. Some on mats and some on straw.
Yeah. I'll let Mary again answer that. We have different types of covering on the pens. Maybe just explain that.
Flooring surface, is it, John? Oh, we have a variety of different flooring type here. Here in front of me, we have the plastic slats. Behind there, where you saw that yo lambing, we have the straw bedding. There's the grid metal there. And down in our lower sheds, we actually have concrete slats and different types of plastic, the conventional plastic slats. Again, it's great to show our students the different types of bedding, different types of flooring, and to see the advantages and pros and cons of them all.
Okay. So basically, that's us tonight. We had a few technical glitches, but everything's gone to plan. We've had Yo Lamb. I just want to thank our students for their help today and participating in the event and all the organising that we've done today, and particularly Mary McGlynn, our sheep teacher here, and Declan behind the scenes here asking the questions. So don't forget, tomorrow night we're on again for 15 minutes. We're going to concentrate, as Mary said a couple of times, on the care of the lamb post-lambing, and we hope that you can join us then. If you have any other questions, that you can post them and we'll answer them during the next 24 hours. Thank you for tuning in, and good night.
Thank you.